nice to meet you. I'm Valentina Staltari from Italy, and actually from South Italy, and keep it in mind because it's really important for the presentation. And today I'll speak about the origin of the hand, actually the symbol of the hands, especially in South Italy, and also about my vision about it. So let's start to say, as you know, the first rock drawing is in history is probably the depiction of the hands, and the handprints in the simplest is actually the simplest, but also at the same time a perfect and complex design. And let's say that it's a perfect and natural design. So, during human evolution, hands have not only had a physical importance, but have also assumed a symbolic and a communicative meaning. The symbol represented by the hand is linked to many cultures through popular beliefs and faith. For example, the hand of Buddha or Christian sign, and also in other religions. So what about the symbols of good luck? In the history of humanity, signs and symbols have always been used to indicate situation, dangers, and also thoughts, but also to protect themselves from bad luck, especially in Italy, I have to say. For example, we use a series of objects to bring a benevolent influence in various situations of life, like the four-leaf cloves, the ladybug, the chili pepper, especially in Calabria, that's my region, in South Italy, and the horseshoe and many, many other symbols. Now I will introduce the hands in the actually in the body language. As a real Italian, I can say, because you know we speak also with by the hands. So gesture can acquire a symbolic meaning, and many gestures that back to the most ancient civilization. In southern Italy, for example, body language has undergone a symbolic evolution and has become radical in the languages of Italian people. Here you can see the cover of a book of Bruno Monari, Speak Italian, The Fine Art of the Gesture. One of the gestures that distinguish southern Italy, especially in Calabria, is the gesture of the hand that make the horns. This gesture has taken various meanings based on the context. If the hand is facing upwards, there is the typical allusion to infidelity, but this gesture is connected to the Greek mythology and to the Minotaur. So the famous monster with the body of a man and the head of a bull. However, if the hand is facing down, sorry, I forgot to say something about it, about the story of the Minotaur. It was the story referred to Pasiphae, the wife of the king Minos, of Crete Minos, and she decided to save a beautiful bull, this time sacrificed to Poseidon. The offended god drove the woman mad and fell in love with the bull, and from their union, the Minotaur was born. So the mythology tells that the Minotaur, the bull of Crete, was endowed with the horns, and the people reminded their king just with the gesture of the hand. and to show the type of the betrayal, actually. So the link is between the gesture and the idea of infidelity. Actually, in Italy, I think also in other countries, not a really kind gesture to do it. So it's not really kind to do this gesture. So if the hand is facing down, it indicates the need to repel the misfortune brought to the evil eye. We call it malocchio. So whoever send the evil eye is one who envies someone else's well-being. This symbol is also connected in this case to the horn of the strong animal cattle. The peasants used to hang the horn of the animal dried red on the door of the houses, evoking protection and defense. The symbol is also often used in rock culture, but in that case, the hand is facing up and the thumb is out. Ronnie James Dio, of Italian family origin, of course, began to use conjuring in live performance, consolidating this icon gesture in rock culture, and that it was connected to the typical gesture of conjuring death by his grandmother. And what it means making hand horn today. Nowadays, the symbol of the hand that makes the horns has lost value in belief and faith, but has acquired it in modern language and also in social network. Just think to the various emoji that we find on the keyboard of social network and we use every day. Actually, in Italy, making horns with the hand has become a typical gesture that is used to regardless of society or regional affiliation. In recent years, hand gesture in online chats have reconfirmed the importance of a gesture or symbol in non-verbal communication. So you can see here in my online conversation, the emoji I often use if is that of the horns, the chili peppers, or salt, or symbols that connect to these gestures. For example, you can see in this image, when my boyfriend got a new car, just to say congratulations, we said "fora malocchio," to repel the heavy lie from the other people, other envy people. Or just if a neighbor look at you in a envy way, in a envious hair, just make this gesture, actually, the hands with the horns. And why not, as you can see in this image, why not to ask to remove the malocchio, the heavy layer, by WhatsApp? However, in southern Italy, it still use making horns with a feeling connected to the origin of the gesture. Actually, people still practice these prayers and still search people, especially elderly people, who can do it. And now it's really difficult to find it, actually. And here is not yet clear how this symbol is connected to the faith, since the culture of southern Italy is it's customary to adorn with prayers to God and the Christian faith to remove the heavy lie, despite the church banning this practice. but we don't have documented information about that. I'm sure that many of us believe in it. So make horns in your pocket without being seen. This was one of the sentences that my grandmother used to say to me, always, really always. And she was my grandmother, Teresa. My grandmother's, I think, she had a body language. And she strongly believed in the malocchio, and making horns with the hands was a recommendation, a recommended solution against the people's envy. So the interesting thing is that in southern Italy, the same hand gesture can have a different meaning from those who you know all over the world. Making horns with her hands wasn't the only gesture that she did, but she had I think a personalized gesture, and she had a personal gesture, and the many hands movements she made had a meaning invented by her. So it's interesting to say that she couldn't read or write because she just know how to speak, but she know how to communicate by gestures. And I think her personality was the key of her language. Here, following some of the gestures she used to do and their meaning, like this one, it was to say, come here, give it to me. She always with her leg open. This is actually show when she was to say that a woman was of easy virtue. I don't know how to speak it, how to say it in a gentle way, actually. Sex and masturbation. This was the gesture of the vagina that she made. And of course, the horns. So, what to say more? I, my mother, and my cousin, so mainly the women we spend more time with her, still use some of the gestures she made to say something, but different things. A unique symbology of visual languages, a visual code that has been handed down from one person to many women of my family. And often when we talk to each other, this personal language is much more comprehensive than many words. And of course, only some of us can understand that. So now I want to show you some of my illustration. The illustration are linked to the symbol of the hands that make horns, but also to the movement that the hand make during the prayers to remove the heavy lie, the malocchio. The first is a hand, the hand that make the sign of the horns, because when if someone discover you, he lost the value. Then the hand that drop the olive oil on the plate to make the evil eye go away. The drawing of the oil that appear on the plate, the circular sign indicate the severity of the evil eye, and their movement indicate whether the evil eye will go away or not. And again, a hand holding a pendant with a hand making horns. And actually, I have a small pendant like that. And it was given to me the day of my baptism, so as a sign of good luck. And at the end, as my grandmother used to say, a hand hidden in your pocket to make always the horns. So thank you. And just sorry if my English wasn't perfect. So, and if not, just think that I'm Italian, I can speak with my hands.